You're back to Global Business Report. Some Nigerian students are protesting the extension of a strike by the Association of University Workers under the umbrella of ASUU. They say they would make things difficult for the country. They said they're threatening to hit the streets as they protest that extension, as the Nigerian government tried to reach a deal with the university lecturers. Nigerian schools or universities have been closed for several months. Now that strike action has been extended until August by the universities. Now some students from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ileife, Southwest Nigeria, on the streets of Lagos on Monday protesting at the extension. They said they want to go back to their classrooms and tired of the whole seat at home. Okay, let's go to Queensland in Australia now to discuss the state of global education. What are the best practices and benchmarks? Olufolakemi Adeniyi, founder of Male Education Services, joined me from Queensland. It's great to have you.
This opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You are a product of Nigeria's educational system, at least at the early days of your education. Your schooling, you got an electrical engineering degree from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. What do you make of the ASUU strike situation and the plight of students back at home here in Nigeria watching from where you were in Queensland?
All right. Yeah, according to the Child Rights Act, one of the basic rights is education. So with the current ASUU strike, the youth are denied the opportunity to education. Education is actually a social institution that provides the basic fact, job skills, cultural values, and the benefit for education will actually improve the lives and the students, and also the society will run smoothly. So now that ASUU strike is on, 82 days plus 12 weeks in total, what that means is like a 4-year degree will turn to be a 5-year degree. And some of those students, by the time they go back to school, they will find it very difficult to be able to fit back into the system. So in my own view, I think there's a need to invest in education. If recently I read about Kenya's 2020 to 2023 budget, in which $4.8 billion was invested, which is the lion's share of the budget. Another thing that can also be looked at is the 2030 Sustainability Agenda, which is a UN initiative for successor program, and there's 17 global points there. If that can be adopted as well, would be quite good. Because in the 17 global goals, number 4 is actually education. And there's a need for the country policymakers and law to look at this.
Interesting. What else needs to change? You attended the university, got an education degree from the University of Queensland in Australia. What needs to change, structurally speaking, about the state of universities in Nigeria? Is it just about pumping more money? Are there fundamental issues that need to be handled or be treated?
Money is part of it, but there are other things. For instance, lecturers in Australia, they've been paid an average of about $110,000 a year. And it's not just them being paid that amount, but they're paid regularly. An average worker in Australia is paid every fortnight. So the salary I'm talking about will be divided into 22 weeks, and they'll be paid fortnightly. They're guaranteed job security. There are plenty of vacancies for them. They can change job. And the fact they're paid regularly motivates them to go to work and be able to support and provide and facilitate the learning of the students.
But is it true that education consultancy businesses like yours have gotten a boost from the ASUU strike? What you're providing, what are you bringing to the table? At least there's a gap, there's a need you're feeling out there.
Yeah, definitely we're filling a gap, like you said. But with the ASUU strike, I'll be honest with you, we've been receiving more inquiries on a daily basis because an average Nigerian youth wants to be able to compete with their counterparts. And they're making inquiries on how to study overseas. That's the University of Queensland. Their parents they're tired of them sitting at home asking questions about how the students have the opportunity to study online while the ASUU strike is on. Our agency, we don't actually compete in the same space as other agents in Nigeria because our own focus is mainly on Australia and New Zealand.
You're a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in Queensland. You have taught mathematics and physics to students. How can we get more female students into the field of science and mathematics?
When I tell people my favorite day in the month of February is February 11, people wonder why. Because they'll be thinking about other days in February. But because February 11 is actually the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. It's celebrated globally in a big way, in a small way. So I've got 5 points, which I think are the main things that the focus should be on. Number one, encourage the girls by telling them about role models, try and sign them up with engineering and science events. Don't give them the option to choose between science and marriage. And finally, parents will play a big role, like my father did. In my family, with 4 girls, 2 of us studied engineering, 3 of us studied science subjects. So if that is in the family as a whole, there will be a tendency for girl or female child to study science or go into mathematical-based career.
Interesting. You know, it is said that you women handles a whole lot more money, a whole lot better than men, and I can tell I've got this to prove. So I'm sure mathematics should come very easy to you women. And we have very great women who are economists and others, the Ngozi Okojo-Iweala and a whole lot of others like yourself. So there's a headline in one of the dailies talking about exodus of Nigerians revealing deep economic crisis. Do you think greener pastures through education and jobs is the driver of this exodus, or do you think it's overblown? What's your reading of this industry? I'm sure being here and out there gives you an idea of who is going where and what the motivation really is.
Yeah, I read the article myself and I quite agree with it, because we're losing a lot of qualified technocrats to politically and economically stable regions, like Australia, for instance. Nigeria will continue to lose such skilled professionals if the policymakers and law does not encourage graduates with overseas qualification to return home. Skilled professionals will continue to leave because of they're not being paid on time, or the salary does not compare with their counterparts overseas. So just like I said earlier, the best way will be to invest more in education and provide job opportunities for people that when they come back, they will be able to compete with their counterparts. Or maybe have a program in place that will give graduates the opportunity to come back. And so just like the NYSC program, when you finish your first degree, you need to go to the NYSC program. So I think there should be similar things to encourage students with overseas qualification to return home.
Yes. Have you any of these students or skilled professionals you have worked with or ever returned to Nigeria after completing their programs overseas, or is this all sweet out there? I
can say it's all sweet, but a few of them have actually returned. The percentage, unfortunately, is less than 10%. And it's more to do with they're not too sure if they will get a job. Offer can be guaranteed and better living condition. Imagine someone that's lived in Australia with 24 hours power supply, good medical facility, salary being paid on time. For the person to return to Nigeria, there must be something very attractive to bring the person to come back. So we've had a few cases, but not a lot.
So what's life like in Australia? I know very big country and all of that. So what's life like in Australia for Nigerians living there? In Sydney, in Queensland, wherever they are? Tell me.
All right, yeah. It's beautiful here. It's very easy to settle in, and there are a lot of benefits, like I said earlier. It's possible for an average Nigerian to settle within 6 to 12 months. We have Nigerian food. The weather is great. We're in winter now, and you can see I'm just wearing a light cotton shirt. We also have the Nigerian Association here. A lot of people that migrate to Australia come on a student visa, and as long as they have enough money, $23,000 as living expenses for the year, they will be able to get their student visa. And the population specialization for Nigeria, lots of Nigerians that come here to study, it's always in the area of engineering and nursing. Australia has the top universities with many ranking within the top 50 in the world. There's incredible nature, vibrant city, and several oceans. And I'm sure a lot of people are aware, because the one thing that comes to their mind when you talk about Australia is the
Yes.
wildlife, the beaches. The Olympics is coming to Queensland. There's a lot of there's beautiful things.
Right. Okay.
I personally live in Queensland, and it's what we call the Sunshine State.
Olufolakemi, you get some pounded yam ready and a goosey soup. You might could just be knocking on your door pretty soon. You're selling it to me. Thank you so much. Have a great day over there in Queensland.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Olufolakemi Adeniyi. Thank you so much of Made Education. Thank you very much for bringing the program to a close this morning here. That's Global Business Report. Stay tuned to Arise News. From all of us, we say thank you for your company.